Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to on today's episode. What the fuck? People are upset with The Rock using bad words? The fuck is going on with that? We're going to talk about that today, Larson.
Calm it down. We're trying to run a PG operation here, Steve.
Whoa, buddy, whoa. Listen.
Is there a double standard for you, Steve, that I can't cuss? Is that what the deal is?
Certainly fucking seems so, right? Oh my goodness gracious. We're going to talk about that. Also, we've got
I'm not going to call you Steve. I'm going to call you shithead.
Nah. Don't call that guy Steve. Call him shithead. Mama Rhodes. So anyways, we're going to talk about The Rock and his potty mouth. We're going to talk about WWE SmackDown with The Rock concert. And we're going to talk about AEW Collision, all on today's Going In Raw. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe. Larson, where do you want to start today? Where the fuck are we going to start?
The Rock's potty mouth, as you mentioned, because honestly, I don't even know why this is a story, but hey, we'll talk about it nonetheless.
Because it's hilarious.
It is pretty funny. So following on yet another profanity-laden social media promo on Friday in advance of SmackDown by The Rock, SC Scoop's Aaron Varble reports that WWE issued a memo to talents, once again telling them, emphasizing, quote, the need for talent to follow PG guidelines on TV and social media. But then the report adds, quote, despite this, The Rock's use of profanity, like in a recent promo, has raised question among talent about double standards. They wonder why he's allowed to curse while others aren't. Well, it's easy. He owns everything about The Rock. He's the boss. That's my editorializing. We'll get to that later.
Listen, he's the director of the board.
He's the boss. The report continues, I was told that The Rock's viral promos where he keeps cursing, including opening up his social media promo this week with, are you fucking kidding me? About Cody has rubbed some people the wrong way. There seems to be a feeling that we are seeing a double standard because we're talking about Dwayne Johnson here. Not Larson. This is Aaron Varble again. I was told that the thinking is that, quote, even if he is the big movie star, shouldn't everyone play by the same rules? Hold on. So he can curse and use that to get over, but everyone else is handcuffed? Yes, Steve.
No, they shouldn't have to play by the same fucking rules. It's The Rock. It's The Rock. No, you don't get the same privileges. Hey, you know what? Work fucking harder. Once you become the biggest star on planet Earth, probably our entire solar system, because I don't think there are movies on Jupiter, Larson, then you can fucking curse on social media.
There's no life on Jupiter, Steve. It's cold and filled with toxic gases. No, there's no life on Jupiter. Be serious now. On other planets and other solar systems, maybe there might be life. There might be entertainment beyond our comprehension.
Yeah,
and stars of such a magnitude that outshine The Rock by several factors. But we're not privy to those forms of entertainment or the stars who are starring in said entertainment. I mean,
listen, man, it's a bunch of cursing crybabies, Larson, and I'm not going to stand for it. He's The Rock. These promos are hilarious, and Seth Rollins, stop complaining to people.
So here's would it be cool? Would every WWE superstar potentially benefit and be able to go on social media and have a potty mouth like The Rock? Maybe.
It'd be weird and kind of disconcerting, to be honest with you. But
it so fits The Rock's character at this point.
It does.
For him to have that, for him to be the only one that has that privilege.
Yeah.
And if everybody else was doing it, it would kind of mitigate the shock value of it, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a double standard. Of course, The Rock's going to get this privilege while others don't. He's one of the greatest superstars in WWE history, one of the most famous people in the world. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's still the top paid actor in Hollywood. Probably not, but for a stretch he was.
Yeah.
You know, is the double standard unfair? Maybe, but it's going to exist. And it might be a bit naive to think that everybody else is going to be afforded the same privileges that The Rock is. Mm-hmm. When unfortunately, it's just not the case. The Rock gets to do this. So Meltzer had an update on Varble's report saying, quote, there has been talk among talent and outside with some frustration about the double standard involving Dwayne Johnson. But of course there is a double standard involving Dwayne Johnson, given his worldwide star power. Wrestling has always had double and triple standards depending on one's position. As one person noted, he does what he wants because he's on the board of directors. Nobody's going to say anything to him. He also has an entire team of representatives that he surrounds himself with, so any issues, they handle it while he stays out of the mess and the people he directly deals with. But one person noted that there was a feeling that the era of Vince McMahon's double standards for his handpicked stars for everyone else was over under Paul Levesque, but now Johnson has showed that it's exactly the same. Well, I don't know if you go so far as say it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
The Rock's The Rock. He's and if he owns all the Rock IP, he's director of the board. That means he's the boss.
It means he's the boss and he's the director of the board. He owns all the Rock IP. That means he's the boss.
That means he runs it all.
Listen, until this starts affecting actual, working conditions and people feeling comfortable at their job, I don't want to hear anything about comparing this with the Vince McMahon era.
Exactly.
That's stupid. I'm sorry, but that's dumb.
This is trivial compared to the shit going on while Vince was running things.
It is absolutely trivial. If I'm not mistaken, and maybe somebody can clarify this for me because I don't listen to the podcast, but Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive, I'd be kind of shocked if he followed WWE's PG social media guidelines ever since becoming a WWE superstar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think
it wouldn't shock. I would be. I'll put it this way. I'd be really surprised if Logan Paul all of a sudden had to stop saying fuck on his show. I'd be really surprised. Now maybe as a big billionaire sponsor guy now or not sponsor guy, but being a businessman with Prime.
Prime is going to be the sponsser for the premium live
but
event, so.
The Rock is a big business guy now too, and he cursed, and that's the whole point of it. So, I don't. If Logan Paul, I'd be really surprised if somebody came down on Logan Paul.
Yeah,
because they value his business with them. I don't know, man. It's like everything else in the world. You get the pull to do something, then feel free to do it. You got to weigh your leverage here, man. If you're upset that this guy gets to curse on social media, then put yourself in a better position to curse on social media if it means so much to you,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's incredibly silly. And I would be surprised if anybody of any significance was upset over this. I said Seth Rollins earlier. I was totally joking.
Yeah.
I'd be really surprised if anybody of any significance was upset about this. People with a normal head on their shoulders would understand. This is just
how it is.
Right, exactly. It's like
how it is.
You're getting paid to do a certain thing, and keeping, in a lot of professions, keeping a clean social media is now, and you can quibble over whether you like it or not. That's a whole different situation.
Yeah.
But people's social medias can affect them in their work life. Mm-hmm. And that's the way it is, whether you like it or not. And I think that is what it is. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could even debate whether or not, you think it's, should superstars be able to curse on social media? I don't know. Whenever Kevin Owens said fuck, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that, if it's within a certain character, maybe they should be allowed to, but that's not a decision I fucking make,
If everybody was cursing on all their social media promos, then the impact would be dulled quite a bit, and you have a situation here with The Rock, with this new iteration of The Rock's character where he's cussing all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
For the character and for the story, it makes sense for him to do this.
Yeah, right.
The whole thing is that he's flexing his power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And for him to be one of the few, if not the only one on social media at least, cussing in these promos, is just another expression of him flexing his newfound power within WWE.
Yeah,
he's
right.
above the regulation apparently. So
yeah. So any way you look at it, it works. Got a super chat before we even started today.
Wow.
From Mickey G. Says, you have the budget to pick one current wrestler from any promotion to lead Action Coast Wrestling into the future for the next decade. Who would it be and why? One current wrestler from any promotion. I know this is sort of just plopping this in the middle of our cursing story. One current wrestler from any promotion to lead Action Coast would be The Rock.
Yeah. Well,
Throw
then,
up
budget
your
would have to be
ones,
no
Larson.
object then. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we got a new
good.
channel member also, Don Amigo. He's got the Friendo Club set up. Doesn't have the Rock set up though. That means you get to curse. We got more about Dwayne Johnson and profanity. I'll go ahead and take this part of it, Larson. On a recent Wrestling Observer Radio, that other guy, Dave Meltzer, stated that Fox, the TV channel, has been getting advance warning of the content of Rock's promos, saying this, and these transcripts come to you via WrestlingNews.co. The SmackDown one, I mean, they bleeped a lot of stuff on SmackDown. The deal with the TV, what they have to do is Fox gets the script ahead of time so they know when to bleep. Because the whole thing, the Rock promo, obviously it's completely scripted. If it was anyone else, they would just be not allowed to say it. But with the Rock, it's like he can say whatever he wants, but they know what he's going to say and when he's going to say it. So anything they want to bleep out, they will bleep out. And they know when to bleep it out because they're told ahead of time. So that's kind of the gist of the promo and why certain things are bleeped out and everything like that. And they don't miss on anything. Larson, we've known for decades now how that process works. And even though it's entirely possible Fox does get the promos.
That's not from the network level, I don't believe. That's live in the truck as they're doing it. They bleep the stuff out. That was my understanding.
I don't know where the censor guy is, but they have a 7-second delay.
Yep.
So they can bleep stuff out.
Yep.
So I don't know. Maybe they do get the script. I don't know. I'd be kind of shocked. I'll be honest with you. The Rock, number one, I don't think for a second The Rock feels the need to stick verbatim to a script.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, it seems like he gets lost half the time he's out there, but the guy's so goddamn entertaining that it doesn't fucking matter. So, yeah, I don't know. Those other guys.
I read this. I'm like, all right, I don't know about this, but all right, sure. Because it's my understanding there's a 7-second delay, and they have someone in the production truck.
Yeah.
On site, not at 1234 Fox Boulevard where the Fox studios are at.
Right, yeah.
They have a guy or somebody in the truck who's there. Press that button.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have the script or something along those lines, then yes, they're ready for it. So you don't have that weird thing where they miss it, where it's obviously they tried to bleep it out or mute it, but they miss it.
Yeah.
And so
I'm sure it's possible. Like, yeah,
that was my understanding that it was in the truck.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but
yeah. Well, either way, kind of interesting, I guess, handing off the script to Dave Meltzer. Also, apparently, Brian Gewirtz was doing some rumor killing.
Yeah.
There was some rumor out there about the Rock segment, the Rock concert going long this week, and Brian Gewirtz said, nah, it went 30 seconds under its time. Everything else seemed to flow pretty smoothly in the SmackDown episode, Larson.
Yeah. Dylan here says, watch the Paul's podcast episode with Randy Orton, clips from the Cena episode, and both of them cursed.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I can't believe this is coming from anybody of any significance, Eastside Reviews here with Super Chat says, hot take, Drew McIntyre and The Rock are carrying both world title programs. Most interesting characters in the program. Let's talk about SmackDown now. Thank you for the Super Chat, Eastside. Because he brings up The Rock. Number one, I agree completely with Drew McIntyre. I think that Drew has been an absolute revelation, and he has been the perfect anchor for the Seth Rollins side of things as he's navigating both Raw and SmackDown now. The Rock's Rock concert. I think it is such an interesting, I guess dichotomy would be the word.
Yeah.
To see how boring babyface Rock is. Because look, it is infectious when he's having fun, and he was obviously having fun. But he's so much more fun and entertaining as a bad guy when he's saying juvenile things like go smoke some more crack. As opposed to he's in Memphis. He's going to get the cheers. He's going to he's got to be a good guy there.
Yeah, he's really putting over Memphis. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Rock concert, I thought it was I thought it didn't overstay its welcome. And I thought it was entertaining, but just not nearly as much as when he's being a bad guy just having a fun time, running down the city.
It was pretty tepid. The level of insults. I mean, that's the point of this is he insults his opponents in song form,
Yeah.
And the insults were all pretty tepid.
They were, yeah.
Even the promo bit that even though it went over a lot of the same points that his social media one did earlier on Friday, I thought was more dramatic, better delivered, more pointed. In every respect, in terms of building up anticipation for this tag match, Mania did a better job than the Rock concert, which is leaning on nostalgia from the one he did here in Sacramento all those years ago.
Which was legendary.
Yeah. Leaning on nostalgia as opposed to adding necessarily anything new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a long segment, went nearly 20 minutes. Was the Rock concert aspect of it necessary? Probably not. Mm-hmm. In terms of actually building up the feud or adding to the story. But, you know, some people hold that first Rock concert in such high esteem. I guess it'd be weird for them not to do something along those lines now that he's seemingly back for at least full-time till Mania, essentially, you know.
I think if he would have done it in more of a hostile city, then it would have been probably awesome. Because his shit talk is so much fun these days.
You know, I thought he was going to start putting Memphis over and then pivot to start talking trash.
Yeah.
You know, he talks about how he got to start there. And you mentioned that he wrestled a named Flex Kavana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just waiting for him to pivot. And it never happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Carson Gills with a super chat says the Rock segment was trash this past Friday. Yeah, I don't know about it being trash. He seemed to obviously be having a lot of fun. But yeah, give me more of that bad guy Rock talking about, you know, drug statistics. I think that's more funny. And it didn't move a whole lot. You know, I loved the promo, the 8-minute one that he dropped in the gym earlier in that day, you know. That's some good unleaded. He puts his coffee down. Yeah, that's good unleaded. And then and he goes off about Mama Rhodes. Yeah. And that's, you know, where he's dropping a lot of you know, fucks and saying, you know, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Crying. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? I thought that was the funniest thing. I really did.
Yeah.
Rock's
it was
having
pretty
a good
solid.
time with it.
And then, you know, a lot of those same beats he hit in the promo after the Rock concert. Mm-hmm. You know, talking about how, you know, he looked like he has the same weight belt or just about the same weight belt. That rather than Cody handing his mom, Mama Rhodes, the Undisputed Universal title at the end of WrestleMania, the Rock's going to hand Cody's mom one of Rock's branded weight belts after the Rock has used it to beat the hell out of Cody, so it'll be covered in Cody's blood and sweat, tears. Mm-hmm. And the punctuation on this I thought was really good. He says, I'm gonna give you this belt, Mama Rhodes. And then what can you say except you're welcome? Referencing Moana.
Which was great. And yeah, you know, great. The thing that I liked about that and the way the thing that I love the punctuation on that, because it became kind of sinister.
Exactly.
Because the juxtaposition there is great. It's like probably his most beloved Disney movie. And he's using it in an incredibly sinister way. And he got really close into the camera to do that. I thought that was the most effective point of the TV promo for sure. But yeah, the stuff, the social media post I thought was good. I thought that, he came off, at some points he's coming off as like, I don't know, evil sheriff, from like those old, early 80s movies.
Well, you're thinking of the one from Dallas last week where he had the hat and the pants.
Yeah, because, he does stuff when you're first Cody Rhodes is boy. It just evokes that sort of character. But how menacing he can become just like that. I mean, look, the obvious criticism here is, where the hell is Roman Reigns?
Yeah, where's Roman? Yeah, no.
And that story I think needs to be told, but maybe because of whatever pivot had to happen, they're sort of going to put off whatever they're going to do with Rock and Roman. But I do feel like there could be much more in the lead up to this WrestleMania with Rock and Roman, and that's a big disappointment, I think.
If you didn't know what the Mania card was, you'd think the match was going to be Cody and Rock.
Absolutely.
Which is an issue because that's not the singles match. They're in a tag match.
Yeah.
Now, if part of the story they're telling us, we've kind of seen that, potentially, alluded to, that Roman is going to start getting upset that The Rock has taken the spotlight from him, from the tribal chief. He seemed to be validated, and he seemed to be cool with things after The Rock acknowledged him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you got to think at some point that's going to wear off.
It's got to be not enough. You know, because Roman's thing is constant validation. He goes literally from city to city, needing constant validation. He's a man of big insecurities.
Yes.
And The Rock doing it once, that's good, but he's going to be hungry for it again, and that needs to be the story.
Well, even last week when The Rock and Roman were both on, the week after that, Rock acknowledged him. You know, the Roman got that handshake from The Rock again before. Like, before we start, I need this.
Yeah, right. You're right. Exactly.
You know, and if that's going to be a constant thing, that's going to really drive the wedge between them. I mean, Roman, in theory, is the faction leader of a faction that includes arguably the greatest star in the history of WWE.
Yeah.
And The Rock, and Roman, it's not enough for him. It's not enough for him.
Yeah.
So at what length is he going to go to try to continually get that measure of validation, not just from The Rock, but from the crowd, who, even though The Rock spends most of his time talking crap about him, will still chant Rocky.
They're coming around to him, yeah.
You know, and that's gonna really start digging away at Roman.
Josh Matlock here in the YouTube chat also has a good point. Rock keeps on referring to himself as the final boss. And you got to think Roman's going to want that title as well. And Rock is also, you know, I mean, he talked about how that title is going to stay around the waist of his cousin. I wonder when he's going to start broaching, you know, the idea that the plan was Rock versus Roman. And that's a match. That's a one-on-one deal. Is Rock going to start referencing the idea that he could become the next undisputed champion should Cody fail against Roman Reigns? I don't know how much they're planning on doing with, you know, Rock and Roman after WrestleMania. That's sort of a huge question.
Well, The Rock's got to go shoot that MMA movie starting in May, I think. So after Mania, I doubt he's going to be around much till maybe SummerSlam.
I would think not. I would think the same about. There's also the Saudi shows. That's before SummerSlam. There's one before SummerSlam. Yeah.
End of May.
Yeah.
Last year was May into November, I believe.
Yeah. So if they're going to be there for that, I would imagine the Saudi, you know, government would probably pony up a lot of money, a lot of extra money for The Rock.
Something tells me, and I could be wrong about this, that whenever Rock Roman happens, it's going to be at a WrestleMania.
I think so. I think so too. That's not to say that if they
efforts
can't
won't
get
be made
Rock
to try to convince him otherwise. Yes, I agree
for something. Yeah, they're going to try to do that. You know, if it's like Rock against, you know, a hologram of a deceased wrestler, they're going to try to do that because evidently they don't keep tabs on who's with us still. Carson Gillis here with the super chat says The Rock is only the final boss of crappy movies. Wow, Carson is not a fan of The Rock.
Wow, maybe Carson's only seen Southland Tales.
Well, I was going to say he should check out Southland Tales if he wants to disprove his theory. DeLuna13
that's going to prove his theory. Yes.
DeLuna13 says, the main thing it seems The Rock is doing is he's deliberately going softer because he doesn't want to affect his movie career or business prospects. Deliberately going softer? I don't know about that. I feel like it's kind of Rock in keeping with The Rock. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's nothing in the social media promos especially lead me to believe that he's going softer.
Yeah, he just knows that he can't be using, you know, fuck on TV because it's just going to not make TV, you know. And then you're just going to be... Dave Matuszek here, member for 11 months. Friendo Club setup. Oh, man. Bonus episodes, WrestleMania Predictions Challenge, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up.
He brings up Bray Wyatt's getting a Peacock documentary soon. Did you see the... Cool. I haven't seen that. I saw... Sorry, I should say this. I saw the trailer, like a brief snippet of it, but didn't have time to actually listen to it and watch the entire thing. But I'm looking forward to that. Apparently, Undertaker's narrating it.
Yeah, I saw that,
which is pretty great. Yeah, I love Bray, man. I'm really bummed out that he passed.
Same.
Anyways, before we get started on our SmackDown, the rest of our SmackDown recap, I should say, I just mentioned that Dave Matuszek became a new YouTube channel, re-upped his YouTube channel membership for 11 months now. And that's how David gets access to bonus episodes, to the question threads that we use for our episodes, and of course, to the Big Blue Predictions Challenge. That's right. You could become the new Big Blue Prediction Champion because Muted Mayday is going to be putting his title on the line at the upcoming The WrestleMania 40. And you could become, I need to send this out to Muted Mayday, but I've been using it for promotions for this thing. This is Muted Mayday's Big Blue Predictions Champion hat. to show everybody that he is the Big Blue Predictions champion.
It says it right there.
And you could win one of these. It's going to be slightly different. It's going to be maybe like, well, you could, Larson, because you are the G1 Climax winner. So you can cash in.
To cash in.
You have to. You have till August. Oh, the sweat's going to start coming down because we're already
like Damian Priest. The pressure's going to be on, man.
So you could get one of these hats as well if you win the WrestleMania Predictions Challenge. And the only way you can do that is by getting the Friendo Club set up. And we offer 2 ways to do that by clicking join right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson or by going to patreon.com/Stephen Larson, clicking on the Friendo Club setup tier. That's $5 a month on either side of things. And it's a great way to help support Going In Raw. And also, if you could do us a solid and hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button, because we're trying to get to the next palindrome subscription number, which is 102,000. Yeah. So yeah, do that. Hit the subscribe button and the notify bell.
Hey, you kind of undersold the liking thing because we got about 600 people watching right now, yet we only have about 120 likes. We like to get 50%, so please, half of you, please.
Come on.
You're here. I assume you like the show, maybe even like us, at least like pro wrestling.
I know what must be the problem. I know what the problem must be. Here's the thing. For all the people that haven't liked yet, it seems like they might have their heads up their asses. So what you want to do is get your fucking head, remove it from your ass, and hit the like button.
We're trying to be a PG show here. You can't be cussing all over the place. Come on.
Double standard.
I know. You can cuss all you want, but I can't. What's going on here?
Stop complaining to Dave Meltzer about my cursing, Larson.
Well, who else am I going to vent to?
Wrestling news now. Do that. Carson Gillis is continuing on savaging The Rock here in Super Chat form. Says he was a tooth fairy and was in a horrible San Andreas movie. I watched that San Andreas movie. I was entertained. Quite entertained.
I haven't seen that yet.
Evidently, Carson Gillis, he knows about The Rock's oeuvre. And he's just ready. He should start up a YouTube channel where he just eviscerates Rock movies.
Carson, what do you think of, what's that one, Walking Tall?
Walking Tall? Yeah.
What do you say is The Rock's best movie?
I mean, off the top of my head, it's got to be, I would think, Moana.
Yeah.
Probably Moana. What else does he have?
I'm looking at his filmography now.
I mean, look, Carson ain't terribly wrong. He's got a lot of stinkers.
Yeah.
He does have a lot.
Just kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, what about Pain and Gain?
Yeah,
the Michael Bay
flick.
Movie. Okay, I thought you liked that one.
No.
Had a good trailer.
It did have a really good trailer. He was really good in The Other Guys. That was his scenes with Samuel L. Jackson.
Everybody wanted a spinoff with just those two.
I know. Their scenes were so good.
Yeah, they were. They were really good. Yeah. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. My favorite Rock content is simply him and Kevin Hart doing media scrum interviews. Or not scrum, media, what do you call it? Junket interviews.
Yeah.
Those are hilarious. Those are absolutely hilarious. Anything with him and Kevin Hart is hilarious. I never watched any of the movies they did together.
You just watched
none of it seemed very good.
The junkets.
Yeah, the junkets are, because he curses.
Yeah.
They both curse a lot. It's awesome.
Yeah. Luis here is asking, who's the better actor, John Cena or The Rock? The correct answer is Dave Bautista.
That is the correct answer. And then after that is clearly John Cena. I think John Cena, he's done some stuff that's pretty damn good. Like, a lot of Peacemaker is actually really good.
Yeah.
MPR, not to be confused with National Public Radio, but this is the YouTube person, MPR. M for Moana. Moana Public Relations here has been a member for 10 months now. Says, would love to see a promo battle between Drew and The Rock. Oh, we might see them interact. That would not shock me. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, what do you think of the rest of SmackDown leading to WrestleMania?
What else happened? So they got we know the U.S. title match. It's a triple threat. Logan Paul against Kevin Owens and Randall Keith Orton. I was really starting to enjoy the chemistry between Kevin Owens, Randall Keith Orton, but once Aldis announced that they'd both be in the U.S. title match, you could see Randy Orton's demeanor changed a little bit as it relates to Kevin Owens, because now Kevin Owens stands in the way of him becoming a champion. He's not going to stand for it.
Got to flip that switch and know that you're gonna have to RKO this guy.
I know.
Yeah.
So I liked that. The stuff with Damage Control, Bailey. The match was really good between her and Dakota Kai. I guess you can kind of see the DQ finish coming. Nonetheless, like directly getting Naomi in that story, and seeing where it goes, if it builds up to a 6-woman tag match at Mania with Damage Control, save for Io because she's defending the title against Bailey, against Naomi and maybe Bianca and Jade, or is it going to be a tag match where Asuka and Kairi defend the tag titles against Naomi and either Bianca or Jade? We don't know yet.
I do appreciate that they set this up to make the crowd want Bianca. With the segment last week where, Naomi and Bianca talked this over, and Bianca was saying, you weren't here, you don't know what they were doing. Like Naomi doesn't have access to Fox.
Yeah.
And Naomi come running out, and the numbers game overwhelms her. So what do we need? More numbers on Bailey's side, on Naomi's side. Mm-hmm. And the crowd understands, oh, well, Bianca is the logical person here. So they start chanting for her. So they're going to get Bianca. But that is sort of the question is, are the titles going to be on the line? In which case it's going to be Naomi and Bianca. Or, given that there's 3, leftover Damage Control members after the title's on the line, are they just going to do 3-on-3? In which case, given that, Jade and Bianca had that, face off during the Rumble, Jade has sort of run into Damage Control backstage. Is she, and on top of that, if you want to mitigate, I've mentioned this before, if you want to mitigate any experience issues in the ring with Jade Cargill, putting her in there with just a ton of veterans for her first WrestleMania match might not be a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. Those are 2 distinct possibilities there, and I have no idea which way they would go.
Yeah, I don't either. But it's going to be interesting to see how the story unfolds.
Mm-hmm. People are saying that. So what is this about Asuka? Is Asuka injured? What's going on with that?
So like during the one time, I think when she interfered to help Dakota during the main event, she jumped off or dropped off the apron and maybe tweaked something because she was kind of limping around the rest of the show.
Okay.
But no concrete news as far as the nature of the injury or how serious it is.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Hopefully that's not too bad.
Yeah. I guess we can jump into it.
Yeah.
SmackDown recap opened up with The Rock. The Rock says.
So we don't have to go through this verbatim because it was very long. Yeah, it was very long.
So he grabs the mic and he says usually he'll come out here and talk trash about the city he's in, but tonight's different because they're in Memphis. He says finally The Rock is back home. He talks about wrestling on Saturday mornings on Channel 5, Monday nights, Big Top Flea Market as Flex Kavana. And he says we're going to have some fun tonight. We're here in the home of the blues. So let's have I'm going to sing a song. Mm-hmm, and so there's a guitar player and harmonica player that come to the ringside area and stand on top of the announce table. The Rock takes a seat in the ring. He's got his little music stand there with his lyrics on it. Puts his mic on the mic stand. And the first verse, if you want to call it that, is talking trash about Cody.
Mm-hmm.
He'd say he's going to beat him with his fanny pack. He puts the famous shot of him with the turtleneck and the chain and the fanny pack on. The second verse is about Mama Rhodes. Once again calls Cody a mistake. And then third verse is about Seth Rollins. It's just more trash talk. Again, all pretty.
I like that he did refer to Cody's conception as being fueled by drugs and cheap condoms.
Yeah.
That's so dirty.
It is. He did make a John Morant reference in the Seth bit.
That was pretty funny, yeah. So the line was, cackling and dancing is all that you do. No wonder your wife's... He's talking about Seth here. No wonder your wife's more popular than you. You're so damn desperate to make them all cheer, but The Rock is going to make that title disappear. You're simply an embarrassment, son, just like John Morant when he's waving a gun. And then very quickly was sure to, shout out to John Morant and let him know it's just a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, literally he says, "I love you, Ja." Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny line, though.
Yeah, it was. So there's a final verse about the Cody crybabies, and he just says they can all kiss the ass of the final boss, which of course is The Rock. And then song's over. It's time for a serious Rock promo.
Yeah. So yeah, he says, "You like that, Memphis?" He says, "We had some fun. We're gonna have another kind of fun." He says, "Last week," he mentions the slap. He says, "Cody finally manned up and slapped the hell out of The Rock. But what did The Rock do? He smiled, and a couple days later, Cody went on Raw, and The Rock was waiting. The world was waiting to see how he was going to react. He's going to cut an impassioned promo. He throws to the video of Cody crying on Raw about his mom, and he says, 'You responded by crying. That's how you respond? I can't give the title to my dad. I can only give it to my mom. And you ain't giving anything to anybody, Cody.'" He says, "The Rock doesn't want to talk to you. He wants to talk to Mama Rhodes." He says, "He knows you're watching and listening." He says, "You don't know The Rock, but you're going to know The Rock in ways you wish you hadn't. Let me break down WrestleMania for you and how it's going to go. Your son, Cody, took something from me, and I'm going to make him pay. I'm going to make his family pay, and you pay. On night 1, The Rock Roman, going to beat your son, and we're going to beat Seth Rollins. And then night 2, Bloodline rules, anything goes. Mama Rhodes, The Rock knows you can't wait for your son to finish that story. You want your son to finish that story so bad. You want your son to hand you that belt so bad, but it's not going to happen. The belt is going to stay around the waist of my cousin Roman. And now, Mama Rhodes, you're going to get a belt, but you're going to get The Rock's belt. It's not going to be the Universal title. It's going to be this belt." And he's got the weight belt out. And he says, "It's going to be a belt just like this, and The Rock's going to take this belt, and he's going to beat your son and make him bleed, tear his flesh, and whoop him like a dog over and over again." That's where you get the whoop that trick chance. "Mama Rhodes, your son's blood is going to be on this belt, and when The Rock is done whooping your son and Roman's beat your son 1, 2, 3, The Rock's going to take this belt full of your son's blood and walk over to you. He's going to hand you this belt. He's going to put it in your lap. You're going to be crying just like your son, but that's okay, because then The Rock is going to whisper in your ear. He's going to wipe your tears away. He's going to say, 'Michelle, what can I say except you're welcome? If you smell,' and then he does, 'If you smell,' with the final boss.
He does it low key. He says, 'If you smell.'"
Oh, he did that one low key. Okay.
What the final boss is.
He did the big one in the social media promo at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah. That last bit there was really good.
Yeah, he really brought kind of the sinister aspect out towards the end there, especially.
Yeah.
We got a quick shot of Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo warming up backstage because they're in a tag match next qualifier to advance to another qualifier to get in that ladder match at WrestleMania.
Oh my God, that's what this was. I thought this was to get in. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was a qualifier for the qualifier. That was my understanding.
You were probably paying more. You were writing the notes. You were probably paying more attention than I was. I watched this yesterday after our Reno trip. So
yeah,
you know,
it seemed like a couple extra steps maybe. Anyways, Angel and Berto, as he's named now, end up getting the win. Their finisher is like a pop-up punt kick. It was pretty great.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty neat. Yeah.
So they get the win. There, earlier in the day, Damage Control, they arrive at the arena. Also, Bailey, she arrives at the arena. Collision course for main event. Then we got LA Knight. Yeah. Interview. So he walks out to the ramp where Kayla's waiting for him. It's one of those interviews they do on the stage with the audience to the back. They haven't done those in a while.
Yeah.
So Kayla asks, have you found AJ? And LA says, may I? He just grabs the mic from her and says, I need to cook for a minute. He says, let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you.
AJ Styles, you said last week that I need to be humbled. You said LA Knight needs to be humbled. Now you're talking my language, AJ. Why don't you come out here and humble LA Knight? So he's looking around. There's no AJ in sight, so he continues.
I'm nowhere. I'm hiding.
That's what I thought. Another week where AJ Styles won't show up. Why is that? You ain't big enough for the ride, little man. Old Napoleon Styles out here making empty threats.
The joy of LA Knight, I don't care what Dave Meltzer says, the joy of LA Knight, and it is still a joy, and the crowd still loves him,
yes,
is his references are so bizarre sometimes.
Oh.
None of them have any relevancy in today.
Hey, you were just talking earlier how you watched that Napoleon movie. Maybe he saw that in the flight over.
That could be. That movie dropped like ages ago, and it's on Apple TV, a platform nobody has.
It's just on streaming. So anyways, he continues. Says, you want to act like I haven't been looking for him the last few weeks? The man sees fit to fly all the way to Australia, but he could drive his keister over here to Minneapolis.
Keister.
All the while, he goes, X marks the spot. LA Knight marks the spot. Nah. LA Knight spots the mark, and the biggest mark wanted is AJ Styles. Yeah.
X marks the spot. No. LA Knight spots the mark.
If you can't show up, if you don't have enough tingle in your loins to show up to SmackDown, I know somewhere you can't help but show up. I thought he was going to go to AJ's house, but no.
Yeah.
He says, I'm talking AJ Styles, I'm talking LA Knight, and I'm talking WrestleMania. AJ, you said I walk around here like I own the place. I might not own the place, but WrestleMania, I will own your ass. And what that means, hey, he cussed here. And what that means, you'll find out exactly whose game this is, with everybody saying LA Knight, yeah. And then AJ comes in from behind and blasts him with the chair, and then opens up the chair and puts one of the crossbars, like the bit that Edge uses for the deal, right across
The deal, yeah.
LA Knight's throat, and he accepts LA Knight's challenge for WrestleMania.
Okay, I love this promo, man. I think this is a classic LA Knight. I think the crowd's still into him. And hey, he gets his own solo WrestleMania match this year. That is awesome. So good for LA Knight. What did he do? What did he do last year? Wasn't he a multi-man last year at WrestleMania 39? I think he was, because I looked it up the other day, but my memory is so bad.
Something like that.
But no, that's him versus AJ Styles. Yeah. Who wins this match? Who needs to win this match? Who gets
LA
more
Knight,
out of this?
LA Knight wins this. Yeah, LA Knight wasn't on the WrestleMania card last year. Was he on the card? No.
You are correct about that. I think we talked about that last year.
I think he was in the Andre Battle Royal on WrestleMania SmackDown that Lashley won.
That was last year?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, Lashley didn't have a Mania match last year. Remember they had him come out with the trophy?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, they had him come out in LA Knight. Yeah, and that's right. They were gonna do an LA Knight angle at WrestleMania, and then Vince overruled it. That was like the reporting, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
And now he's got a solo against AJ Styles. Do you think LA Knight wins this?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
Then we got a recap of Randy Orton RKO and KSI, and then you get Logan Paul walking in Nick Aldis's office, and he goes, Logan Paul says, so what's the plan? Punishment. Is there going to be a fine? And then Nick Aldis, acting kind of confused. And Logan says, for the chaos that happened last week, Randy Orton, he slithered in. He interrupted the biggest sponsorship moment in WWE history. He RKO'd my business partner on the Prime logo. I think Randy should probably apologize. Not for me. I don't care, but for you. You could be in serious trouble otherwise. And Nick Aldis interrupts and says, if you're looking for an apology from Randy Orton, maybe you should go ask him in person for it.
Ew.
And Logan says, why don't you do your job? He says, well, how can I expect you to do that when you can't even find a WrestleMania opponent for me?
Dang. Yeah. Logan Paul, he's so smooth. Like his cadence, everything, his delivery is so good. Yeah, that's good stuff. After that, we get a brief clip of the Impulsive podcast where he announces Cleveland is the home for SummerSlam this year. Then the Bloodline comes backstage. They're walking around back there. Kayla steps in, almost gives Heyman a heart attack, asks if the Bloodline had a response to Jay's challenge. So as Paul Heyman's about to say something, Jimmy says, yeah, we have a response. Little brother out there talking that big noise. You forgot, didn't you? You forgot before the right-hand man, before you became a main eventer, before you became the longest reigning tag champ in WWE, you were my little brother. I raised you. You followed me everywhere. I told you I got you. Last year at Mania, it was me and you. This year at Mania, it's me versus you. Hey, Oos, big bro got you. Want me? Yeet. So that is an affirmative.
It's official.
Is in.
Yeah, match is happening.
That's going to be a good one. Who do you got winning that match? It's got to be Jay.
Main event Jey Uso.
Got to be main event Jey Uso.
It's got to be main event Jey Uso.
They really should do that over like several. Mute this. They should do that over several, like 2 WrestleManias, man. Do 40 and 41.
Feud going over.
Absolutely. You know what I'd suggest would be cool? A double turn. You do not at this Mania, but like over the course of the next year.
Yeah.
Maybe Bloodline kicks Jimmy out because he couldn't beat Jay, and Jay ends up getting courted back to the Bloodline. Mm-hmm. Something like that, where you do like going into the next one, Jimmy's the good guy, Jay's got the upper hand, and then Jimmy gets his win back.
Oh, could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Then we got Grayson Waller taking on Randall Keith Orton. Logan Paul comes out and joined commentary. Orton gets the win here with an RKO, even though Austin Theory kept trying to help Waller get the win. In fact, Waller tries to sneak in to hit his finish after Orton hits Theory with a draping DDT, but Orton counters that with 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment. So then after the match, Theory hits Orton with a chop block, follows with a huge forearm, and then Theory's like, come on, Logan Paul, come in the ring. So Logan slides in, starts talking crap to Randy, sets up for a KO punch, but then KO Kevin Owens. He runs to the ring, sprints right through Grayson Waller, shoulder tackles the heck out of him, knocks Theory out of the ring. Paul takes his leave. Owens helps up Randy. Orton is about to hit. He doesn't know who Kevin Owens is at first. About to hit him with an RKO and stops. Theory tries to blast a KO from behind. Orton gives Owens a heads up, and then Owens hits Theory with the stunner, and then Theory jumps right into an RKO from Orton. And so afterwards, Aldis comes down to the ramp, meets Logan there, and says, "Hey, did you get your apology from Randy? And I've determined your opponent for WrestleMania, or should I say opponents, because you're defending against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton."
What did you think of the jump into the RKO?
Timing was just a little bit off.
I think I want to see him. I love that they did the backstage digital exclusive where Austin Theory says, Grayson Law was like, "What happened out there?" He was like, "I just figured maybe I could jump over the RKO."
Yeah, that's funny.
I love that. I really, man, I've said this forever. I really want the best for Austin Theory. If you've ever seen any of his backstory, he's a guy who I think works really hard and really deserves, success. And they've done him a disservice creatively speaking.
Oh, yeah.
But he puts in just fun little things every single week that he's on there. And I want to say, and I think he was really hampered by them trying to hotshot him.
Yeah.
But I really feel like you can do something really good with that guy if you keep him on this path, and then you do something big with him and Grayson Waller,
Yeah. Then we got Damage Control interview. So Kayla says Bailey is trying to take them out one by one ahead of Mania, and Dakota says Bailey won't be able to take us out one by one and still make it to WrestleMania. You know what? I know she's watching, so Bailey, break it to you. And anyone who feels sorry for you have lost their damn mind, because this is all you're doing. You were jealous of Io, threatened by Kyrie and Asuka, so in order for us to grow stronger as Damage Control, we had to cut you loose. So this is a message not only you, but everyone in the locker room. We run the show.
Yeah, man. Oof, heated. After that, we had Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. This was cool. It was really short. It was a very
short match.
They did the thing where Dragon Lee gets distracted. He goes on the outside, takes out Carrillo with Arana off the apron into Garza. He gets back in the ring. As soon as he gets back in, Santos hits him with a Phantom Driver. Afterwards, Legado beat down on Dragon Lee. Carlito runs to the ring, takes out Berto. Santos slides out of the ring. Carlito hits Angel with a backstabber. He hits a spine buster on Carrillo off the top of Garza. Santos gets him from behind, sends him into the ring post, and that brings out 619. Rey Mysterio sends Santos into the ropes, looks for a 619, but Santos able to slide out. Rey grabs a mic, says, "Why are you running? Remember what you said? It was supposed to be me and you together. Familia. Let me give you what you want. How about next week, one-on-one, you and me, and I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I'll slap that stupid, arrogant smile off your face." Not a lot of real estate left on WrestleMania. There's 9 matches, I think, already announced.
But it's over 2 days, Steve.
It's over 2 days.
12 matches, 6 per day.
They could get up to 14.
They could.
Maybe. So if they're at 9 now, you put the Kabuki Warriors in the title somehow, or on the card somehow. That's 10.
Rey and Santos, that would be 11.
Rey and Santos? Okay.
Is there anything else that seems obvious they haven't announced yet? Got a tag title match. We got women's titles, men's
feel
titles.
like Lashley's got to be...
Oh, they'll probably do something with Lashley and the Street Profits against Final Testament, yeah.
I would think so. The Street Profits... Here's the thing. The Profits are either... I think the Profits are going to be in that tag match.
Could be, yeah.
So, but they're already doing... I don't know. Lashley versus Cross. Maybe they'll do a stipulation match of some sort. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That feud has no heat. If the idea is, hey, we're only going to feature stuff that's got heat behind it, that's not going to make it in.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of heat.
It'll be a SmackDown WrestleMania match.
Yeah. Then we had another one of the qualifying matches for the qualifying match. New Catch Republic taking on Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy.
Yes, boy.
Although it was a no for Pretty Deadly getting that win. Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate hitting a Birminghammer to get the W. It's a fun match, though.
Yeah, no, this is cool stuff. They're all good wrestlers. They got a lot of history or a lot of chemistry, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good stuff. Yeah, new catch. They got to be in that tag match.
You
They
think
got to
so?
be
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, you think so? And then we got our main event: Bailey taking on Dakota Kai. This featured a lot of damage control interference and attempts at interference. In the end, so Bailey hits a power bomb on Dakota as Dakota's looking for a face wash kick. Throws Kai out of the ring. She turns around. Io's there just waiting to hit her with the title. So Asuka and Kyrie get in the ring. Bailey fends them off. And Io and Bailey start to circle each other. Dakota reaches out from the floor and grabs Bailey by her ankle. And that allows Io to blast Bailey. Ref calls for the DQ, so damage control. Attack Bailey. Naomi comes to the ring to make the save. But then Io hits her with a drop kick, throws her out of the ring. Damage control then hits Bailey with a triple drop kick, and they kind of hold her up. So Io can hit her with a moonsault. And then the show ends with damage control standing over Bailey, all holding their titles.
Yeah, that was a nasty moonsault right there.
It
My
was.
goodness. You see Dakota Kai, she immediately was like, oh, I need to go to her. And then as soon as they started standing over her, she did the catcher's position and just sort of started shit talking her.
Yeah,
but it was like kind of
fine.
clear that she was just checking on her.
Yeah.
I like to see that stuff, you know?
Yeah, me too.
It's nice that they're real people.
I know.
Anyways, and then we also had on Saturday AEW Collision featuring Bryan Danielson and Shibata, which was really cool.
Shibata was really good.
That was odd. That was an awesome match too.
It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like it's pretty clear that Collision is just going to be more or less the wrestling show.
It's yeah. I think they've abandoned all idea that this is going to be like any sort of story driving show.
They're going to advance major story beats on Collision. It's by and large, hey, maybe we'll set something up on Dynamite, and then the match will be on Collision.
It's such a compromised time slot. Like, it's just, you're not going to drive people. Stories are going to get, if you try to do stories there, they're going to get buried. There's not going to be any of that. And so, you know, it's just sort of like either matches for the sake of matches or like Pac's return match versus Aaron Solo. You know who's going to win that.
Yeah.
You know, but you got Claudio versus Lance Archer there. I guess is this like a setup for the tag tournament or something? Because you got like the Righteous coming after Blackpool
No, because
Combat
BCC
Club.
nor the Righteous are in the tag tournament. They released the brackets over the weekend, and BCC is not in the tournament.
Oh, what are the brackets? I missed that one.
Oh, all right. Let's see if I can pull them up.
I should have run on the double. All right, let's see here. AEW tag bracket.
There we go.
Hopefully
So
that'll
on the left side, first round, you got the Young Bucks taking on Private Party.
Young Bucks win that by cheating.
Yep. And then you get the Undisputed Kingdom versus the winner of essentially the wrestling match, like a play-in match. It's going to be Best Friends versus Don Callis family. I think it's Kyle Fletcher and Will Hobbs.
Oh, Don Callis family wins that.
You'd think so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
they'll
Best
face
Friends, they
Undisputed
do
Kingdom.
nothing.
No,
they
it's
do.
Trent. It's Trent and Orange Cassidy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right. Because Chuck is hurt. Okay,
Yeah.
that changes things. Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're right. Orange Cassidy. Yeah, Best Friends win that. Okay.
So then maybe the semifinal match would be the Young Bucks versus Best Friends. Yeah,
you're right.
To get the heel versus the face. On the right side of the bracket, you got Ricky Starks and Big Bill taking on Top Flight. They'll win that one.
Top Flight's going to win that, you think?
No,
Starks and Big Bill.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
They have not been. Yeah, maybe. Because they haven't been on TV, and maybe
That's
it's going to
true.
be a big return, but it also could be Starks is like, you know, a lame duck right now.
It could be.
And they might want to use this to fuel a feud between these two.
Maybe. So then you got FTR versus the winner of the second wrestling match, which happened on Collision, which was the Infantry versus
won.
House of Black. Infantry
Yeah.
moves on, so they'll face FTR. So it's probably going to be FTR Young Bucks final.
Oh yeah, for sure. FTR beats. Yeah, so yeah, FTR. Yeah, they can do that. Okay. Young Bucks, FTR, and then what's the record at with them? 2-2
FTR, I believe.
2-1 FTR.
Yeah.
So
when
Young
the
Bucks are winning
win
those tag
this, then
titles.
it'll be tied. Yeah. You're gonna have the Young Bucks with the tag titles, Okada with the Continental title.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay.
They'll do their.
They'll do the thing.
The title's on them. Anything else happened? They advertised a match between Zach Knight and Cool Hand Ange that Zach Knight says, "Nah, I'm not going to wrestle in your home country of Canada, Angelo Parker, so it's not happening tonight."
Yeah, right.
That was like the major story beat of the show.
That was the major story beat.
Oh no, sorry. Adam Copeland showed off Spike. And he says he gave
What do you
Mick
think of
Foley-
Spike?
It's fine.
It's just, dude, I'm
Not a bazooka, but
I like Copeland fine, but why is it he's simply watching 2021 Sammy Callahan?
yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
Like, seriously, there's so much Sammy Callahan going on there. That is the most Sammy Callahan thing he could have busted out.
Pretty high up there.
And he's got like the merch that looks like Callahan. He's got the whole, Death Proof type promos.
The Grindhouse thing too.
The Grindhouse thing, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it is what it is. I'm just dying for him. At any moment, he's going to be like, Christian Cage, thumbs up, thumbs down.
It's coming. It feels like it's coming.
It is coming, yeah.
We could jump into it. Oh, but first, before we do that, we got some super chats. We got some memberships here. Carson Gillis says, just 3 hours of Cody tonight, please.
Wow, Carson. Is Carson Gillis actually Mama Rhodes?
Oh, that's a good
Mama
question.
Rhodes burner account?
Steve's backyard tiny house renter to be a member for 6 months says, I don't know if Knight was referencing him, but the X marks the spot line is from an Exhibit song.
Oh, okay.
And Eduardo Morales says, should the Usos fight in Extreme Rules or Hell in a Cell? First match should be standard match, and then you go to the stipulations after that.
Yeah, 3 years, man. 3 years. 1, and then 1.
Yeah. Yeah, 1-1, then 1. All right, now let's jump into Collision. Open up with Bryan Danielson versus Katsuyori Shibata. Just go watch it. It's spectacular.
You ever
Second
get
half
nervous watching
especially
Shibata
so-
matches, Larson?
No, not really. He's dialed
Really?
it back. He's dialed it back quite a bit.
I get so nervous, man. I know I
I
shouldn't.
mean, I only get nervous, I guess, when like something like a German suplex or something like that. But
Yeah, right.
you gotta remember these guys are all wrestlers are trained and they do their best to protect themselves. And you would hope that if they weren't able to take in what is today pretty standard wrestling moves, they wouldn't be cleared.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the possibility always exists that maybe something it could happen, but no, you can tell he's obviously he's not doing any shoot headbutts anymore, thankfully.
God dang. It sounded like a baseball bat, man.
did.
Golly.
After
Yeesh.
wrestling for 40 minutes or something like that.
That was rough, yeah.
It was rough. So Danielson gets the win here. There's this great bit at the end where they're trading roll-ups, and Danielson finally gets the last one. Hell of a match. Go out of your way to check it out.
Yeah, it was awesome.
After that, we had a recap of Mercedes Moné, CEO, making her AEW debut. And then we got Julia Hart versus Trish Adora. Adora, this is like a great performance for Trish Adora here.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah. Really great performance for Trish Adora. Julia Hart gets the win after a super kick and a moonsault in a fun bout. Then we got that Zach Knight interview where Lexi asks, hey, Ange challenged you for a match. And Zach's like, I'm not wrestling it. I'm not fighting Angelo in Canada. I'm not going to give him the hometown advantage. I'll fight you, but it's going to be on my terms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we got Daniel Garcia versus Lee Moriarty. Again, another good match, but Daniel Garcia is in the midst of a push, so you knew he was going to win this one.
Yeah, that was like sort of the thing about pretty much like all these matches.
Yeah.
I mean, the only surprise was like the Infantry beating House of Black.
Yeah.
That was surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah. And yeah, it's a good match. Lee Moriarty should be much further ahead in his career than he is right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're not even in the tag tournament.
I know. Like
This tag tournament
He and Shane
should've been-
Taylor, I thought the tag tournament was going to be like 16 teams.
Yeah.
Like, you have a pretty large tag division. Do like a large tournament that features a lot of the teams in your tournament. Give all the tournament matches like 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And just have awesome match after awesome match.
Yeah, it's only 10 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of whack. After that, sad news for Darby Allin. He's got a legit broken foot.
No Mount Everest for Darby.
No Mount Everest. Yeah, I'm not too upset about that because that's scary shit right there. I think he needs to get on YouTube and look at more Mount Everest videos because they're terrifying.
I'm sure he probably has a whole playlist just Mount Everest videos.
I think he's just like, hey, it's Mount Everest. It's like,
how hard could it be? Is that what
how hard can it be? It's like Half Dome.
It's a mountain. You just go up. Yeah.
It's a mountain. You just go up. It's like, I should be able to get it done in an afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we had Pac versus Aaron Solo. It was good to see Aaron Solo in the ring. You haven't seen him in the ring for a while.
The bastard.
Yeah.
He's not happy in the ring to see the bastard.
Yeah, Pac gets the win pretty easily. Hits a black arrow, locks on the brutalizer, get the W, grabs the mic, and says, Tony, Tony, Tony. I told you the bastard's back, and I'm looking for trouble. But you see, this is not exactly what I had in mind, so I'll say it again. Tony Khan, looking for trouble. So find me some, or I'll find it myself.
I didn't know I was going to be in here with a jobber. After that, we had a Bryan Danielson promo. He says, this is the one he was backstage on this one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was like, he was doing the yoga pose or something.
Yes, he was. He was just talking about Will Ospreay's, his match against Ospreay for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. He was very grateful to wrestle against Shibata. And then, yeah. He said, I don't think, he says, so say what you want about what you're willing to do, because I know what I'm willing to do, and I don't think you're ready for that yet. Boy, this is going to be a good match.
Oh, it's going to be off the charts good.
It's going to be awesome. After that, we had Claudio Castagnoli versus Eliminate's own Lance Archer. Does this have a DQ finish here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because the Righteous came in.
Weird.
It's the Righteous, baby.
Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow.
So anyways, hey, let me ask you this.
Hey.
What wrestler should get the license to a Lindsey Buckingham song as their theme music?
Well, Pac's looking for trouble.
Yes. Fuck yeah. That's the worst joke that we fucking told, but it was fucking perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God. Oh my God, Larson. I knew you were good at baseball, but that was a home run, man. That was a grand slam. Oh, that was not even planned. That was not even planned.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, TK, make that happen.
Make that happen. The most mellow theme song for Pac.
Bastard Pac.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
that was
my
amazing.
goodness. But anyways, yeah, the Righteous come out and cause a DQ in this match. Of all the see, AEW doesn't do a lot of DQs. So when they do them, it's like, oh, wow, this is supposed to be a deal.
Yeah.
But it's the Righteous.
Yeah.
And
yes. Yeah, they do it buried on Collision. Yeah.
yeah, I know. And so setting up seemingly a 6-man tag match where you got Archer and the Righteous taking on Danielson, Claudio, and Shibata. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. I love that joke that we just loved so much. No pop whatsoever.
I know.
No pop
I know.
whatsoever. There's gonna be one person who watches this out there somewhere who fucking dies laughing.
Yep.
One person. And maybe they'll leave a comment, maybe they won't. I don't know. But that joke was for that person.
That one person. person. So anyway, Shibata comes out, makes the save for BCC, and shakes hands with Danielson and Claudio. Then we get Ruby and Cool Hand Ange backstage. So Lexi's like, hey, Zach Knight postponing your match. And Angela's like, I don't know what to think about this. Ottawa, where they're at, it's only an hour and a half away from his home. He said his mom is in the crowd, and he's ready for a fight. So we're gonna have a fight. And Ruby's like, hey, chill out, relax. And Angela's like, no, I'm gonna go find Zach Knight. I'm gonna find myself a fight tonight. And Ruby says, no. It's exactly what they want. If you're looking for a fight, you'll have to do it without me. And Angelo, you're right.
Yeah, the thing is, it's our profession, Ruby. It's what we do. I'm in the role of what's his face, Cool Hand Ange.
Cool Hand Ange.
It's what we do. We fight. The whole theme song says Saturday night's all right for what?
Fighting.
Fighting.
For trouble.
Right. Trouble. We're looking for trouble on the double. So you got to get out there and you got to fight. His mom's there. So he just didn't have a match for his mom to see?
Guess not.
Instead, he got to see his girlfriend talk him off fighting? I don't like that.
Then we got Kyle O'Reilly in his return match after being out nearly 2 years due to a neck injury, taking on Brian Keith.
His hair does, when it gets long, similar to what my hair does, and that is not look good.
Oh, you don't like the longer hair?
Not really,
I think
no.
that looks pretty because it's got a little bit of curl to it.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't look
good.
good. I think it's awesome that he's back, though. I feel so good for that guy. He seems like just a swell individual. He was so forgiving when I put my arm on his shoulder, and he had a really.
He didn't put you in an arm bar
Oh,
like he did to Brian Keith to get the win here.
probably should have, to be honest with you. My sweaty ass all over him. So yeah, he made Brian Keith tap out. And then Roddy and the Kingdom came to celebrate, and they hoisted him up on the shoulders, and he was like, I don't know about all this.
Yeah, no. Eventually they're going to do that, and it's going to be with like a Batista situation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're going to give him the thumbs down.
Copeland's going to be like, hey, that's my
I guess it was
thumbs
Orton.
up,
That's what they did
thumbs
with Orton. They had Orton was on Batista's shoulders, I think, and then when Triple H gave the thumb down.
Right, yeah.
Back
Batista
drop.
did it with the contract. Yeah, he did thumbs up, thumbs
But
down.
that was referencing what happened with Orton.
Exactly,
Thumbs
yeah.
up. Yeah. Then we got Deonna Purrazzo, Thunder Rosa interview. So Lexi's like, hey, you two haven't really tagged together before. And Deonna says, well, we may not have, but we fought each other, so I trust Thunder Rosa. She says, what I'm concerned about is that Tony tapped at Revolution, and if it wasn't for her butler and cosplay kid, I'd be standing here as champ. And Thunder Rosa says, oh, you mean the title I never lost? Says, Tony Mariah, you want drama? We're going to give you drama. This match can be on... No, this match can be on TBS. TBS is very funny. TNT is We Know Drama.
Yeah, so, Tony Storm.
They got to postpone this match, not happen on Wednesday. They got to do it on Collision.
It needs to be on Collision. Yeah, no, but nobody watches Collision. That's the problem.
True.
Yeah.
But it's funny if Thunder Rosa says, you think you're very funny?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they even know, if half the wrestlers even know what the taglines for the channels are.
Probably not.
Probably not. Oh, man. Anyways, after that, we had the main event match. Anyways, the main event was Spike, but not Spike TV. It was on TNT. House of Black versus the Infantry.
Infantry was getting wrecked.
Yeah, they're getting
Even
killed.
before the bell rang, they were getting wrecked.
Yeah.
But then they win. There's some hope spots for him throughout, but in the
Mark
end,
Briscoe was the hope spot.
Yeah.
Because he threw a chair at Buddy Matthews' head.
Yeah.
And Murphy goes falling down, and then that led to the Infantry getting the win here.
Yeah, Sean Dean getting the pin, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Adam Copeland comes out and shows off Spike reveal.
Man, when he busted out that chair, I was like, we're going to be here for a little while.
No, I thought that too, and I looked at the time. It's like, there's only 5 minutes left in the show.
Did he not go over? There wasn't like an overrun here? Oh my gosh, that's shocking. I kept on hitting forward.
I know.
So anyways, the bottom line is he's got this 2x4 with just an obscene number of nails in it, which really, don't you just like want one nail? One nail is a lot better, I think, than many nails, because many nails is like the bed thing, all the nails on it.
You disperse the
disperse
impact across several points of nails.
Like one nail can go deep into your brain. A bunch of nails, it's not going to go. It's not
maybe
going to do
one
anything.
nail on each four sides of the piece of wood.
That's good. See, that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, he said pretty much. I talked to Mick Foley. He made me remember who I am, so I made Spike. And in Toronto, you're going to say I quit, Christian.
Yeah. Or what you could have done is like a spike on each, like all four sides, but then on the top also, and then Spike could be spelled with a 5 instead of an S.
All right.
So people are like, five tick? No,
he
Spike.
could have done is
Yeah.
have the nails, one on each side, and the top have like a circle of nails that spins when he swings it.
What? What is that contraption?
When he swings it, you have this rapidly rotating like nail saw essentially at the top.
Wait, what is this again?
This is Spike.
Explain it again.
So imagine it's a piece of wood, right?
Yeah.
So you got one nail on each 4 sides of the piece of wood, but on top of it, you have a circle, maybe yay large,
Okay.
with nails sticking out all around it.
Okay.
So it's like a saw, but made out of nails. So when you swing it, it's going to spin, just with the force of your swing. And so even if you don't get one of the nails poking in somebody, you can get him with the nail saw on top.
All right. I trust your vision. I don't quite see it, but I trust your vision. Maybe you could draw it for me or something.
Sure.
That'd be cool.
Here, I'll do it on my phone right now.
That'd be rad. Please do that.
How do I do that?
How do I do that?
Oh,
While you look up how to draw stuff on your phone, I am going to open up a question thread. I don't know. Is there a Raw? Well, I'm going to see if there's a Raw
there's
preview
Raw
today.
preview.
All right, I'm going to take a look here. Raw tonight. Oh, here we go. Raw preview. Becky Lynch battles Nia. Oh my God, that's going to be a good match. Last woman standing match. I don't know if my niece is coming over tonight. She said she's doing the what was that song about the dad and the kid who keep on missing each other? Cats. That's not Cats in the Cradle.
Wait, what's
Sorry,
that again?
Dad, but the song, the old song about the dad and the kid who don't like each other or whatever. Ugly Kid Joe, I think, did a cover of it.
Oh, that would be Cats in the Cradle.
That is Cats in the Cradle.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad, I can't make it. And then Dad's like, sorry, son, I can't be a dad to you very good. And then the son's like, sorry, Dad, I can't hang out with you. That's like me and my niece.
Gotcha.
A tragic story. Hopefully she'll show up tonight, but it's finals week, so I don't expect. She's a very busy girl, anyways.
Yeah.
Awesome Truth battles Indus Share to qualify for the 6-pack tag team ladder match.
Yeah, they'll win that.
So this is like not a qualifier for a qualifier.
No, on Raw, they're just having qualifying.
Are you sure on SmackDown those were qualifying qualifiers?
I think so. I think that's how Corey Graves
Okay.
described
All
it.
right. I trust you. DIY hashtag take on the Creed brothers to qualify for Mitch.
You think
is gonna
DIY
win.
would win this one, but Imperium might cost them this match, and thus Creed Brothers advance.
Yep.
Because Imperium's not even in a qualifier.
Yep.
They might be upset, like, why are DIY in qualifier, but we're not?
Yeah. And then the Alpha Academy go head to head. This is a bunch of the tag team matches on this show.
Your
with the New
favorite, Steve.
Day.
You love tag wrestling.
I like it. I'm fine with it. But give it to me in small doses. Give me a good singles. I'm like Malachi Black. Just give me a singles.
I'll tag for you tonight.
Please, Tony, did you get my fax? I sent you a telefax explaining why I want singles.
Sorry, you get a trios.
Sorry, trios for you.
Trios for you. You keep on complaining about wanting to go back to WWE.
I didn't.
Just
If it didn't come from me.
rumors.
Internet rumors. If it didn't come from me, it's not true. You heard it from those other guys.
Yeah, there we go. All right,
Oh, this is great. Look, as soon as I open up my phone onto YouTube, look at that. Lindsey Buckingham trouble. It's ready to go. And the great thing is I'm listening to it on the Going in Raw channel, so that when you open the channel, that algorithm is going to replace all your guitar videos.
All Lindsey Buckingham videos, huh?
Yeah, man.
Oh, my goodness. Carson Gills here confirms, says, I am head Cody Crybaby.
Hey, man, live it. Live it, Carson, live it.
Steve used to be a Cody Crybaby, too, but no, he's on the bloodline train now.
Throw up the ones, man. Throw up the ones. All right, let's see what we got here. B. York says Truth should face Priest for the briefcase. He says at least his failed cash-ins would be comical. Truth is super over. People would pop big for that.
Yeah, I know. They would. They definitely would. Let's see. Cameron Bortolazzo here says, just want to thank you, Stephen Larson, for getting me through a very stressful weekend in a hospital. My dad got a kidney transplant and it was very successful. Good to hear.
That's awesome.
Everything went well.
That's great. Yeah, that sounds rough, man.
Great to hear.
AJ Otani says predictions for best WrestleMania 40 gear and favorite all-time WrestleMania. Oh, my favorite WrestleMania gear is obviously Triple H as Terminator/Terminator Hunter.
Which one was it?
He was clearly a Terminator but he was also a
Terminator
hunting.
Hunter.
Or
Maybe
was
he was a Terminator
simply...
hunter disguised as Terminator. That's a possibility we haven't really discussed.
You're right, because I feel like he's been hunting Terminators and then using their, exoskeleton as his disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all hanging out at a party, and then this big buff dude walks in with like some Terminator like.
Hi,
remnants
other
on him.
Terminators.
Hello, Terminators. David Matushik says, with Becky Lynch celebrating St. Patrick's Day at the White House yesterday, what other wrestlers do you think should visit the president at some point in time?
It'd be interesting if it became a thing. With like in a sports league, you win a championship.
Yeah.
Part of the deal is you go to the White House.
Yeah.
How about if you win the main event of WrestleMania?
That's good. No, that's
to
perfect.
the White
That's
House.
awesome. Yeah. Roman Reigns shows up. Acknowledge me.
Yeah, you go.
Sleepy Joe is like, that's some malarkey. You acknowledge me. I have such a terrible Joe Biden impression. My Trump is much better. Yeah. John and Alistair voices, as a tag team, which of you two would be the better in-ring worker and who would be the better promo? Oh, Larson, you'd be the catch guy and I'd be the promo guy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Tony Mercer says there's quite a few matches at Mania 40 that could benefit from having stipulations. Tony mentions LA Knight and AJ Styles and Jimmy versus Jay. How would you book those matches? It's the first match of their feud, singles match, no stipulation. You save the stipulation for the blow-off match.
Mm-hmm, yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. What other match? Oh, we already did this one from Elemental Giant asking about what other Mania matches there could be. Let's see here.
Dan Bickerstaff says, do you think they might mimic Dusty with Cody? By that I mean have Cody win night 2, and as they're celebrating, Damian Priest runs in and cashes in, beats Cody, becomes new champion. They're not going to finish Mania 40 if Cody beats Roman by having Damian Priest cash in on him. No chance.
That's not going to happen.
No.
There could be some fun stuff with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre with the world title.
That's a possibility.
That could be cool.
B-Man here says, out of all the wrestlers who have experimented with music, who would be the best to see perform live, do you think? References says, pretty cool. Swerve played Rolling Loud. That is pretty cool.
That is pretty neat, yeah.
Have Shawn Michaels show up at Lollapalooza just to perform his own theme song.
Oh, it kicks off the entire thing.
Yeah.
Doom, 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 doom. Sean. Comes out, I think I'm cute. Oh, no. Joe the Meme Maker says, listen to the new Young Bucks theme as EVPs. Tell me it doesn't sound a bit like the Stardust theme. I also heard the Succession theme too. No, listen, Joe, you heard only the Succession theme because it is a direct rip of the Succession theme. Direct.
It's very similar. Doc Hensla says, if you could change one WrestleMania moment, what would it be? One WrestleMania moment. Not a match necessarily, just a moment.
A moment.
Would you change Shane's not blowing out his quads?
No, kid, that's a top 3 moment. All time WrestleMania. Shane McMahon's quads exploding, and then they just act like he doesn't exist. That was fucking nuts.
That was wild.
That was crazy. No, that's a top 3 moment for me. A moment I would change.
Oh, how about this? Because this felt so bleh.
Booker T, Triple H, yeah.
Yeah, Booker T should have definitely won that one.
Definitely change that finish, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Nakamura versus AJ. Nakamura loses and hits a low blow and turns heel.
Yeah, that was tepid. That was tepid. You know what I would change? And it was like one of the biggest moments is when Austin turned on the join with McMahon.
Yeah.
I don't think you end with that handshake. You can do the Austin turning thing, but leave some ambiguity to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated that watching that live. God, I hated that. Oh, here we go. One Chad to rule them all says, have you seen the trailer for the new Crow movie? If so, what'd you think?
Haven't seen it yet.
I watched it. I don't know why people have a problem with it. It looks fucking badass. You know, it's like it's cool. I thought it was really cool. To be honest with you, people get so precious over nostalgia things.
Yeah.
I wasn't even that huge of a fan of the original Crow movie. To be honest with you, it's just a movie that was cool to be cool. It had some lore behind it because of, unfortunately, the passing of Brandon Lee because of the shooting. But no, I don't know. I think that movie looks badass.
Yeah.
Probably won't watch it, but it looks cool.
Organ Grinder here says, if Mercedes/Sasha returns to WWE, do you think we could get a 4 Horsewomen WrestleMania main event? Absolutely. They should do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's like a huge match. That's like a big deal, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That should
I
be
think
first on the list of things to do if and when she comes back.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Alex M. Martinez says, is there a path to Priest cashing in at Mania? Perchance, but it's going to be for the World Heavyweight Championship and not for the Universal one.
Correct. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Anyways, that's all the ones I got here.
Alex Foster here says, what would be the most satisfying way for Cody to win, and what would it be for Roman to win? Most satisfying ways.
For Cody to win?
Yeah.
Look at Mankind's title win, the first one. Overbooked madness. That's what I want to see. What's
the most satisfying way that Roman would win?
Everybody tries to turn on Roman, and he still wins. And Cody has his whole Avengers there, and the Bloodline comes after him, after Roman. Like, they all turn on him, and he kicks out of everything, and he still wins. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Then he's got all the power.
He does have.
And he has it written in his contract. If he beats Cody, not only is he the undisputed champion, he owns The Rock's IP, which, as you know, that means he's the boss.
He's the boss,
and he's the director of the board.
Director of the board as well. He runs everything.
He runs everything, exactly.
He runs everything.
And he goes like this, and the World Heavyweight title just disappears.
Yeah.
Because he's undisputed. Anyways.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 trouble. It's right here, ready to go.
No, as soon as we're done.
That's going to do it for the show
Will
today.
Chisholm here with the super chat says, are you all surprised WWE's letting talent work in GCW at Mania weekend? We really talk about that on the show. We can talk about that now. So Josh Barnett announced for Bloodsport happening over Mania weekend that Shayna Baszler is going to take part, which is super cool. We've seen these kind of one-off appearances. Nakamura being there in Pro Wrestling Noah for Muda's last match. I think what Carl Anderson was at Wrestle Kingdom after they signed WWE contracts. It seemed like if there's something they can do that's kind of a one-off deal that maybe it's a favor to somebody or something like that. Triple H obviously is far more amenable to that than Vince ever was, because Vince never would have considered it.
He seems like approachable, because apparently Barnett and Triple H, they had a previous relationship or whatever, they're buddies. I think that's awesome. I think it's so much excitement in the industry.
Exactly.
I think that's really cool, man. I think it's really cool.
It is.
And
It is
you're absolutely right. Vince wouldn't have let that happen, and sucks the fun out of everything.
It does.
Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Friendos, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it, but I got some bad news. We got cues right now, Larson.
Stop with this cues thing.
They're
it's like
giving
a
us
two-week-old reference.
fucking
You need
cues.
new stuff.
So many fucking cues right now. They're coming at me from all angles.
Steve, you need to get some new material here.
Oh, man.
We got a good thing with the Lindsey Buckingham thing. That was good. That was new stuff.
So that was terrible. That was awful. Number one. Number two, you're telling me that off is the direction in which these cues can fuck? We got 'em.
that right.